any cold. All right, thanks to our virtual view technology, I'm standing in Milwaukee, where the clouds, a few clouds out here, but they are going to gradually change over to some snow. That's going to be tomorrow, early into your Friday. So if you're leaving the Bucks game on Thursday night, you possibly could see some snow falling. But make sure you are prepared as we go into your Friday, because yeah, we'll start to see more of that snow. And in terms of Milwaukee, we have a deficit of about 21 inches on the season. So let's talk about what's going on. More snow. I don't know if that makes you happy, if you're like, okay, it's spring now and we need to do something about this. But you know, when you're in Milwaukee, spring means that you could have some big snowstorms out there as well. So this is that forecast for you as we go into the rest.
We think it could be a heavy producer in that quick movement time frame. And then there's another one down the pipeline on the backside of this thing, too.
I'd like to do a poll on who's tired of it and who was, yay, let's get more.
Who's back into the excitement of it.
Exactly. So you're talking about snow. We actually do have some severe weather to talk about, too. A possibility further down off towards the south. So let's talk about what's going on in terms of the water vapor. We do have plenty of moisture that will continue to trail into Texas and the south here. So this is what we have for today. The rain, the thunderstorms, of course, we're talking about spring, right? But spring brings snow. It brings those storms. And this is what we're seeing as we do have this system that will continue to develop. Ahead of it, it's going to pull in plenty of moisture. So yeah, we're talking about really feeling a little bit humid out there down off towards the south as well. So as we go through the late week, we will have this boundary, the stationary boundary. Of course, it's going to stall. We do have this system that's going to strengthen off the coast. And yeah, of course, there's going to cause some problems there. But for today, we do have the potential for some strong and severe thunderstorms, 2 separate spots here. So from Elk City to Lubbock, Amarillo, you're in on this as well. We could see some damaging gusty wind, possibly some hail with it as well. And then further down off towards the south, Houston, Corpus Christi, San Antonio, Laredo, you're all in on this as well. So you definitely have to stay weather aware for today. Keep your eyes peeled. As we go towards tomorrow, we will do more of the same. Looks like we have a little bit more real estate involved. Dallas, you're going to be in on this, and this stretches over towards that I-10 corridor around Lake Charles. New Orleans, you could be in on some damaging gusty wind and possibly some hail too as we work our way towards your tomorrow. This is what we're working with as we time this out. We'll start to see some of those thunderstorms really start to flare as we go into your Thursday morning, possibly around Dallas. We're looking at this around Houston as well. The bulk of the activity, though, really gets its act together as we head into Thursday afternoon. Shreveport, Alexandria, you're going to be in on this. There's the heavy rain. Look at that line, that Boeing segment headed off towards Houston. Again, we'll keep it tuned to the Weather Channel. We'll be back. Welcome back to America's Morning Headquarters, and let's do a little bit of traveling for today. And yeah, you can see some of these colors on the map here. Not necessarily the purples and the greens, but those bubbles. So that means that we are going to see some impacts because of the colors, right? So some of those purple colors, a little bit of a rain snow mix going on. We have the blues, period. Yes, just some snow, some lake effect snow that will add up as we go through the rest of this morning throughout the day. And then also we do have the windy conditions out there for today as well. So that snow is going to accumulate. We'll have those winds gusting up to about 50 miles an hour. So most likely it's going to be a slow go of things in the air and also on the road. So this is how we look at that morning rush. We could see that snow coming in around Niagara Falls, around Buffalo. So I-90 not going to be the best. Around Dunkirk, we're seeing more of the same there. Look at some of the teals here. That's where some of that snow will really start to add up, a good swath of snow coming in. So the snow is going to continue as we go in through this morning and the afternoon. And then finally in the evening, it looks like we'll start to calm down things a bit with the snow, but still plenty of wind will be lingering across the area and the very cold temperatures as well. Jordan.
Well, if we go to
separate weather and climate disaster events hit the U.S. last year, costing nearly $93 billion in damage. With a little bit of planning, there are ways to help ease the financial burden so you can recover quicker. Time now to weatherproof your wallet, presented by AARP. First, safeguards. Talk about what's going on out west, because yeah, we're going to see these systems bashing and coming on shore as well as we move through time. So plenty of moisture that we're going to be working with. There's that area of low pressure, and this western storm is going to be bringing a little bit of everything, right? A little bit of snow, some wind, some rain with it. Let's talk about that rain at first, right through your Thursday into your Sunday. We can see 1 to 2 inches in some spots, 2 to 3 in some spots as well. But check this out, possibly maybe even 3 to 5 inches down off towards the south, up to an inch. Remember, we've seen a lot of rain so far across this area. Now, not going to linger. It will continue to work its way on off towards the east. So plenty of energy with this system. That upper level disturbance will continue to work its way way in here, and before it's all said and done, yeah, we have the system that looks like this, right? So we're talking about that to cold front, the warm front, there's that dry line. We will see plenty of moisture pulled up ahead of it. And really, I love this graphic because this really shows you what spring is, right? You can see everything during spring. So we have some snow across the plains, the upper Midwest. We do have the potential for some strong severe thunderstorms down off towards the south. And then look at that wintry mix. Just can't make up its mind. Is it too warm? Is it too cold? What are we going to get? Yes, and also we have the wind that will continue to wrap up with this system as well. We look at the Euro and the GFS pretty much in agreement that we'll see most of the heavy stuff to the north around the Dakotas, around the upper Midwest here. So more of the same Friday into next week. And then further down off towards the south, yeah, this is when we actually do have the potential for some strong severe thunderstorms. We saw this last weekend. We could do this again as we head into your Sunday as well. From Dodge City down off towards possibly Abilene, you could be in on this as well. Let's talk about that rain, what we're seeing with those models. We'll start with the Euro Saturday into next Tuesday. Again, focus in on some of the yellows there. I put it into motion, and now we're looking at what the GFS is showing, and still more of the same. So these models pretty much in agreement. We'll see how it all pans out. Steph? All right, Lynette, thank you. And right, we're always saying it wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for the wind. All right, thanks to our virtual view technology, I'm standing in Milwaukee. Yeah, it looks pretty good. We'll have a few clouds out there, but you know what? Eventually, these clouds are going to change over to some snow as we go late tomorrow tomorrow night and into your Friday morning. So be prepared for that. So if you are going to be leaving from the Bucks game on Thursday night, snow might be falling, but the flakes will be flying around your head on Friday. So make sure you are careful on those roads. When we're talking about Milwaukee, we do have a deficit of that snow, about 21 inches for the season. So, yeah, we really need to make up ground here. But some of you might be like, oh, we don't need to make up any ground. I'm good. But some of you might be like, oh, yes, I want the snow. Well, this is your event, right? Because we do have that snow that will make it in here as we go into your Thursday night, into your Friday. It's going to be a quick hitter, though. It'll be in, it'll be out. And did you see that temperature on Friday coming in about 36 degrees? So, yeah, we'll see how all this plays out. We just been not having that really cold air. It doesn't seem like it's going to be really cold, but we will work with a swath there of the purple. So possibly 5 to 8 inches before it's all said and done. So snow lovers, I know you're still loving this. And of course, you know what March can do. March can bring that snow. March can bring that severe weather. The southern tier of things, yeah, we could see that as well. But in terms of what we're looking at to the north, we do have that Arctic air that will be in place. So we're talking about teens for those morning lows. It is going to be cold out there. And then don't forget, we're talking about the wind. You just heard Steph talk about the wind across the northeast. Yes, we're going to see this back across the upper Midwest, across the plains as well, as we will have that tight pressure gradient, the difference between that area of high pressure and low pressure. Oh, yeah, we're going to get squeeze play there for sure. Now, that system's going to continue to track on off towards the south and east, and you see some of that teal. Yeah, that's going to be a quick band that tries to work its way through, but it's a band that could put down a lot of snow in a short period of time, possibly 3 to 5 inches. Bismarck, you're going to be in on this. Fargo possibly as well. Elsewhere, maybe about 1 to 3, and then once again, that swath of the purple. Hopefully that puts a smile on your face. But if it doesn't, remember, quick hit, quick hit. Let's put this into motion for you, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So Bismarck, you will see that teal for a little bit moving over towards Fargo, down off towards Minneapolis as well. And then it surrounds Green Bay, just to the north of Chicago. Chicago, you may be getting in on a little bit of a rain snow action before it's all said and done out there as well. And then by Friday evening, it is in, it is out. We will be much drier out there. But here's Chi-Town, where we can see Thursday night where we do have that rain snow mix coming in. More of the same on your Friday. Again, look at the temperature coming in right around 40 degrees. So not working with a whole lot. Both models really showing you, this is the Euro, that the heaviest snowfall across the northeast will be more up towards New England. We're seeing this around Vermont, New Hampshire, up towards Maine, and the GFS model picking up on that as well. We can go ahead and time this out across this area too, because again, around the Tug Hill Plateau, we'll be dealing with that snow trying to really add up as well around Burlington, pushing on off towards the north and east as we head into your Saturday morning. Jordan.
Okay, we're going to be looking.
You know, but what a bummer. Remember, you know, when we went on spring break and then we found out that it's going to be raining or we couldn't get in the water. But
have fun somehow.
Exactly. We still managed to have fun. So that's some good news there. Let's talk about what's going on back off towards the west here, because we have lots of swirls happening across the area, right? Well, these disturbances are going to move on shore, and boy, are we going to feel it in the way of wind, in the way of rain, and also some snow back off towards the west here. So this is what we're working with Friday through Saturday. This will continue to work its way inland. I'll show you more of that in just a second. But before that happens, yeah, look at this. 1 to 2 inches, possibly 3 to 5, where you're seeing some of the yellows there as well. 2 to 3 on down off towards the south, maybe even up to an inch before it's all said and done. So there's that energy. Saturday and Sunday continues to work its way on off towards the east. It's going to continue to pull in plenty of moisture ahead of that dry line as the system continues to organize. This is what we will have as we go into your Saturday and Sunday. So we are looking at this March mess. It is March. It is spring now, and this is what you can get. You can get a little bit of everything. You kind of just throw everything up there and you see it. Snow, wind, we have the rain, the thunderstorms down off towards the south as well. We look at the model. This is the Euro model, Friday through next Tuesday, and we can see very heavy snow more across the plains. We can see this across the upper Midwest as well. But the GFS picking up on more of the same as well, right? So very heavy more to the north here. Again, the plains, the upper Midwest, and then let's head to the south, my friends, right? A little bit warmer here, but we're also going to be dealing with the potential for some strong and severe thunderstorms happening. Childress, Dodge City in this, Woodward as well. Let's talk about the rain that we'll be seeing, because, you know, there was a point in time when we're like, we need the rain, we need the rain. Not so much now. We can see this around Jackson, New Orleans, some moderate rain coming in across the area. GFS and the Euro both agreeing that we could see some moderate to heavy pockets of that rain down off towards that area. We put this into motion. We start to see that modeling, and this is just the system really developing and getting its act together, moving across the nation. There's the snow, Bismarck, Rapid City, but also look at the wind with this, as there's an area of low pressure really wrapping up, getting its act together, continuing to push its way on off towards the east. Marquette, Chicago, and as it moves on off towards the east, really, this model really picking up on the fact that we're really going to start to see some warmth. Nashville, Jackson, some heavivier rain trying to work in. Jordan.
Well, we got a quick...
Man, I tell you, I'm not bitter at all. Let's talk. All right, let's take a look at what's going on here. We do have a look at the airport delays as of now. The green is on, but I wouldn't really take that for truth, because we are going to be watching plenty of weather across the upper Midwest, the Great Lakes. Yes, they're open for business, so we're still dealing with some lake effect snow there, and across the Northeast. So yes, JFK, Boston, we could see some delays as we go through the rest of today. I would suggest that you call ahead so you're not waiting at the airport for so long. But all in all, this is what we have this morning. We have some snow moving through Detroit at this time. Look at the temperatures, a little bit warmer, 34 degrees there. Watch that. Watertown, you're looking at 35 degrees at this point. Bottom line is that we do have accumulation likely as we move through the rest of today. So that means that we will be watching for those slick roads around 90, around 81. More of the same down off towards Scranton. We could see some rain, some snow coming in across that area. But not only the rain, the snow is going to pose a problem, but we also do have the winds for today, unfortunately, as well. So windy conditions, gusts up to about 50 miles an hour. And of course, we have the delays possible because of those winds. We've talked about the winds, and of course, your mind goes to turbulence, right? Well, I know my mind goes there when your stomach just sinks. Not looking too bad right now. We don't have a lot of turbulence reports, but as the day goes on, yeah, we start to see more of the light coming in here of the blues, but then also look at these deep purples. So Portland down off towards Boston. Jordan, I tell you, when that stomach falls on the plane, that is the worst feeling ever.
Yeah, but I like a little turbulent system on the horizon, which could be more beneficial with this. So these deficits that we're talking about, by next week, it could be very helpful here.
Yeah, that's going to be good. But no matter where you are, it's going to be active across the nation. Whether we're dealing with the rain, the snow, the wind, we're going to be in on it for sure. So let's talk about the south and what's going on here. We're going to start you out with a look at that water vapor loop, where we are going to be dealing with plenty of moisture, going to continue to funnel in down off towards the south here. So we can see this around Louisiana, around Texas as well, as this system continues to get its life together and its act together as we go through the rest of today. Yeah, we could see some activity happening, but this thing will continue to strengthen as it works its way off the southeast coast. And then you can see that boundary there. Yeah, that's going to stall out. So we have lots of players in the game, if you will, as we continue through the next several days. Look at today. Yeah, we do have the potential for some strong and severe thunderstorms from Elk City down off towards Lubbock as well. And then look at the swath down off towards Houston, San Antonio, Corpus Christi. That swath is going to grow a little bit more as we head toward your tomorrow. But damaging gusty winds and hail are going to be the main main threats for your today and also tomorrow. Lufkin, Waco, Victoria, Galveston, you're all in on this. Lake Charles and even around New Orleans as we head towards tomorrow. Let's put this into motion so you can start to time things out, right? We have plans. We have things to do. We don't have time for the weather, right? But this is why you're here to watch so you can see, and we're here to keep you safe. So we start to see these thunderstorms really developing as we go into your tomorrow morning in some spots. Look at this around Dallas. We can see this around Houston. But the bulk and the nastiest of the thunderstorms really will happen as we go into the afternoon. Again, we'll get some of that heating of the day, those parameters really coming together around Houston here. Watch this start to develop, congeal. There you go. You can kind of see that bow there. So that is the winds that we're talking about, the damaging gusty winds headed off towards Houston before it's all said and done. Also, with some of these thunderstorms, we're going to be putting down a lot of rain. Remember, down off towards the south, it's not going to take a whole lot for that flooding because we've seen so much rain. Thursday morning into your Friday morning, we can see this will be possible. Galveston, Houston, some of the places where we do have the potential for those strongest severe thunderstorms to happen. And then more of the same as we head towards Friday as we go into Florida. Welcome back to America's Morning Headquarters, and doing some traveling for today, maybe for work, maybe for spring break. Well, we are going to be dealing with some colors on the map for sure. In terms of those circles, we will see some medium impacts, some high impacts before it's all said and done, because we do have weather colors, right? So we have the purples, we have some greens out there, we have some blues. So that means that for today, yeah, we're going to be dealing with a little bit of a rain-snow mix, plain snow happening across the area, and then also plenty of wind coming in too. So we can see this around Detroit this morning. Detroit, your temperature has fallen, so now we're at freezing at this point. This is going to be the scenario as we go throughout the day. Temperatures in the 30s, but with those winds making it feel a lot colder out there. So you definitely need to bundle up. And I'm going to say that because we're in spring, not feeling spring. And when you hear the word spring or when you hear the word winter, you're already thinking you're bearing down like, oh, it's so cold. But now that it's spring, you're thinking like, oh, okay, it should be warmer. Not the case for today at all. We can see on driving, we 90, 80, 81, all these interstates are going to be a pretty rough go because, Jordan, we will be seeing the snow and also those winds.
Well, maybe the
time you said come together, was it the Beatles? It reminds me of that song.
Of course.
Come together. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
But you need to sing it next time. So next hour you have to do that. Okay? Right. I'll take it from here. Let me show you what's going on right now out in the Pacific. We do have plenty of swirls going on, and these disturbances, they are really going to hammer the Pacific Northwest down off towards the south. In California, we'll see that rain coming in, but we're also going to start to see this move inland a bit. And with that, we will see some snow, and we're also going to see some activity down off towards the south in Texas and moving across the northeast and the southeast as well. But on your Friday and Saturday, we will have the rain, we will have the gusty winds, we will have that snow happening. Let's talk about that rain and how that will continue to add up before it's all said and done. Most of us have possibly maybe 2 to 3 inches, but look at this, 3 to 5 in that little yellow pocket right there. So we'll watch that. The extent of this goes down off towards the south as well. So California, you will be getting in on some rain too. There's all that energy, lots of energy with this system that continues to work its way on off towards the east. And this system is going to organize. It's going to get its act together. And yes, it's going to pose some problems down off towards the south. We'll have plenty of moisture being pulled up, and we could see some thunderstorms across this area as well. This is a wonderful graphic because it really shows you what can happen in spring. Spring, you can get everything, especially in March, right? So this is why we're talking about this March mess, because we can see some snow around Minneapolis, back off towards Denver. Look what's happening with this wintry mix in terms of the purple, and then down towards the south, we can see some thunderstorms. St. Louis, Oklahoma, you could be dealing with that as well, Oklahoma City. So this is what we're working with in terms of the Euro model. Look at all the purple, look at all the pink. This is where we're looking at some heavier snow coming in across the area, the Dakotas, the Pacific, the Midwest, I should say, as well. And this is the same as we look at the GFS model as well, picking up on some heavier snow across the Dakotas. We can see this across the upper Midwest as well. So this is what we have on your Sunday. We head further down off towards the south and around Texas. We could be dealing with the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms. So more on the panhandles of Texas and also around Oklahoma as well. The Euro model picks up on some heavier rain. Look at some of the darker greens here. Look at some of the yellows. I'm going to keep my finger there. And then look what happens for the GFS model. Still more of the same. So, Steph, these models pretty much in agreement that we could see some heavier rain down south.
I don't like all this rain, especially when I
bring those trash cans in for sure. Thanks to our virtual view technology, I'm standing in Milwaukee where it looks pretty good right now, right? Not a bad day, a nice mix of sun and clouds. But eventually, yes, we are going to start to see some snow moving in. So that's going to happen as we go into your tomorrow tomorrow night into your Friday. If you are going to be leaving the Bucks game on Thursday night, you may see some snowflakes, but you're definitely going to see those flakes flying as we go into your Friday. So make sure you're careful on the roadways. And also just remember that we actually do need some more snow. Deficit 21 inches for the season. So we have not seen a whole lot. We are in that deficit. I know a lot of us trying to make it up. Don't know if we're going to do that before we actually start to hit that warmer weather, right? But March, a wild card. I always say it. And boy, do we have some snow coming in. It's going to be a quick mover Thursday night into your Friday. Look at that temperature, though. 36 degrees on your Friday. It's not like we're in the 20s or anything like that. We could easily bump those numbers up a little bit. And some of us will be on that cusp, so we will be dealing with some rain and some snow. But this swath right here that encompasses Madison and Milwaukee, we will see possibly up to about 5 to 8 inches in that purple before it's all said and done. Speaking of the purple, when we're talking about the cold air, this is where you don't necessarily want to see that purplish and that pink color, right? If you're not a fan of the cold, because boy, do we have that Arctic air really rolling in, and we are going to feel, and not even feel, but actually temperatures will be in the teens. We're going to actually feel colder than that with the wind. And speaking of the wind, oh yeah, we have it, because we do have that area of high pressure to the north, the area of low pressure to the south. The difference between the two, we will see that pressure gradient really tighten up. You can see those isobars. The closer they are, that means the windier it is. That system will continue to track that area of low pressure, going to continue to track on off towards the east and the south there. 5 to 8 inches, there's that swath. But then we're also looking at about 3 to 5 in some spots. Bismarck, you could be in on that. Fargo possibly as well before it's all said and done. Again, this will move fairly quickly, so some of us will start to be more in that teal color. So when we talk about the teal color, that is a good clip of snow coming in across the area. If you're not a fan of snow, then let's hope this moves fast through Fargo and also Minneapolis. Looks like it could hover around Green Bay a little bit longer. Chicago, you'll be right on the cusp there, so we could see some rain, some snow moving in, moving out. So by your Friday evening, you will be nice and clear, as we will start to see those clearing skies, temperatures dipping down into the 20s. Look at the Euro model. Friday in through your Monday, very heavy snow back off to the north and east here. So Portland, Bangor, you're going to be really getting in on this. We'll see this with the GFS model as well. So model is pretty much in agreement, Jordan, that we will see the heaviest stuff off to the north and east.
Well, we still got
board games with you and a good book for sure. All right, let's talk about what's going on out west, as we do have plenty of loops on the water vapor, right? So plenty of disturbances, systems that are going to slam ashore. And with that, we are going to see that rain. We will get some snow out of this as well, and some gusty winds before it's all said and done. This system and that energy will continue to work its way on off towards the east. But before that happens, Thursday through Sunday, so tomorrow, this is when we're really going to start to add up that rainfall total. We could see maybe about 2 to 3 inches in some spots here. We could see, though, that yellow coloring, maybe about 3 to 5 in that little pocket between Medford there. Upper level energy continues to work its way on off towards the east, so lots of energy will bring us the potential possibly for some strong and severe thunderstorms down off towards the south. We can see that big system really getting its act together. We have the cold front, the warm front. There's that dry line there, and this is the big picture. As in March, as in spring, and this is what it looks like. This is what it can do in the atmosphere, bringing plenty of snow and wind. Look at this around Minneapolis. That could add up. We could see some snow over into Denver. Look at the wintry mix just to the south of Minneapolis. Chicago, you could be in on this, and then further down off towards the south, some thunderstorms that will be a little bit feisty there. Let's talk about how this will add up as we go in through Saturday into next Tuesday. When we look at the Euro model, very heavy conditions around the Dakotas here. This extends on off towards the upper Midwest, and more of the same with the GFS model. We could see some very heavy snow coming in across the Dakotas, and then also around the upper Midwest there. And then further to the south you go, around the panhandles of Texas and also Oklahoma, we could be dealing with some strong and severe thunderstorms as we go into your Sunday as well. Let's talk about that rain now as we look at the Euro model, and it will add up. So we can see some of the darker greens here in portions of Mississippi back off towards Louisiana. Look at that yellow there. So that's some moderate to heavier rain trying to work its way in here. But the GFS picking up on that as well. And, you know, we've had so much rain this El Nino year. Wow, this season has really lived up to its name down off towards the south. So we don't need all that much rain. But here's that system that continues to get its act together and develop as we go into next week. Jordan.
All right.
All right, let's talk about what's going on in terms of the forecast airport impacts. Not looking too bad back off towards the west, right? And then we mosey on across the middle of the nation, still fine. And then we head on off towards the north and east. JFK, Boston, we're going to see some impacts for today because this is pretty much where our weather is as we continue through the rest of today. Across the Great Lakes, yes, we're going to continue to watch this spin. Area of low pressure, plenty of snow coming in. We're seeing this around Detroit right now. Buffalo, you're getting in on that action too. So for today, if you're going to be driving interstates 90, 81, 80, not going to be the best out there as we will have that lake effect snow. We're also going to be dealing with plenty of wind out there as well. So it's going to be quite gusty. You're going to need both hands on the steering wheel as you head out and about for today. Delays will be possible because of this. And speaking of the airports, yes, you get up in the atmosphere, 30,000 feet up there. We are going to be dealing with that jet stream, and we could be dealing with some of that turbulence as well as the day goes along, right? So we're looking at some of the blues. We can look at the purples. That's when it starts to become more severe, something that you're really going to notice as we go through the rest of today. And we can see this around New York, around Boston, Portland, Caribou. You're getting on this as we go in through the evening time frame as well. Not the best day to be flying as we go further into your day. Jordan.
Well, as we take, which could be much more of a snow producer.
Yes. So, Jordan, I know you love the snow. Are you done with the snow when spring hits? Or are you still thinking about snow?
I think it gets more fun because you have more sunshine, you get the spring feel, you can shed the layers, right? If you're on the mountain, I think that's what's cool.
Nice, cool. All right, so let's talk about the severe weather, possibly, that we could see down off towards the south with this system, right? So we do have plenty of moisture that will continue to work its way on in, down off towards the south, Texas. We can see this around Oklahoma as well, and this will continue to slide on off towards the east before it's all said and done. But for today, yeah, we can see some thunderstorms out there. We're going to continue to watch that. There's that boundary that will stall out, and there's that system that's going to strengthen off the coast and cause some problems across that area as well. But for today, this is the potential for some strong and severe thunderstorms. We have two areas, Elk City, you're in this, Amarillo, around Lubbock as well. And then as we head over towards the I-10 corridor around Houston, we can see this around Corpus Christi as well. And then it extends a little bit further on off towards the east as we head towards your tomorrow. So Lake Charles, New Orleans, you'll be getting in on this as well. Lots of real estate will be under this. Let's time this out for you because as we head into your Thursday, that's when things will really start to get rocking and rolling in a lot of spots as we head into the afternoon. But we can see some thunderstorms in the morning, but they start to get real nasty around Houston around 3 o'clock. We're seeing this around Alexandria. And then look what we have, this Boeing section right here around Houston, just to the north of that will continue to push its way on off towards the east overnight. So we have to watch what could occur during that time. But that Boeing segment really shows you the damaging gusty winds that we could see at this time. Lots of rain being put down with these thunderstorms right into your Thursday, into your Saturday as well. It just kind of changes where the flooding potential happens. And then on your Friday, yeah, we're talking about the potential again for some strong and severe thunderstorms in Florida. Steph, over to you.
All right, Lynette, thank you.
Welcome back to America's Morning Headquarters, and let's do a little bit of traveling. But before you do, make sure you know that we could see some impacts at the airport for today, especially around JFK, Boston, picking up on this around Syracuse as well, as we do have some weather going on, right? So you can see some of the blues. Yeah, we do see some snow out there around Detroit, around Buffalo. You can see that counterclockwise spin. That's that area of low pressure that will continue to spin in some of that snow. So we will be watching for that lake effect snow through this morning, through this afternoon. But also, we're going to be dealing with some windy conditions as well. So with that, we will have some travel bumps as we go throughout the day. Those winds gusting up to about 50 miles an hour. We can see if you're going to be driving on the roadways, make sure you have both hands on the steering wheel around 90, 79, around 81, 70, all going to be in on the thick of things. So as we go through this morning, we will see that snow around Niagara Falls, around Buffalo. And this is going to continue as we go into lunchtime as well. Batavia, Dunkirk picking up on this too. And then as we go into the afternoon, some good news, right? Yeah, not so much in the way of snow, but we will have those winds still lingering. And of course, it's going to be cold out there, so make sure you do dress accordingly because we do have the cold conditions and the wind. It's going to feel a lot colder. As we go in through tonight into tomorrow, we could see some scattered thunderstorms down off towards the south. And where you're seeing some of this pink here, some of those could be strong to severe in the panhandle of Texas and also up into the panhandle of Oklahoma. So damaging gusty wind and hail will be the primary threats there. Make sure you do use caution on the roadways. We're looking around 35, around 30, 45 picking up on this as well. And even Interstate 10 again, is going to be a rough go of things. So tomorrow morning's rush, we will see that rain coming in. Temperatures will be in the 60s, so not too bad there in terms of the temperatures, but that rain will be out there. So make sure you take heed to that. We could see some thunderstorms popping off as we go into lunchtime around Katy, around Houston, as we go into your tomorrow as well. And then this is what it looks like as we go in through time. Again, we will start to die things down a bit. But again, not only are we going to be dealing with the rain across the south tomorrow, but we also do have those winds around Galveston. Temperatures will come in the upper 60s there. Let's head over to Jordan. Jordan, what's going on with that eastern storm?
Well, we got two.
And we're going to have disturbances, systems just continuing to come in here. So Friday through Saturday, we can see what's happening across the Pacific Northwest. Here's that system bringing some rain, some snow, some wind across the area. And before it's all said and done, we are going to add those totals up. You can see that little swath there, very little between Medford and Redding. We could see up to about 3 to 5 inches. Elsewhere, maybe about 1 to 2, and can't even rule out 2 to 3 in some spots. And this will go all the way down into California too. But then the system continues to march its way on off towards Saturday and also Sunday. So we do have plenty of energy that will move across the nation. Lots of moisture being pulled up ahead of this dry line right here. There's the cold front, there's that warm front, and this system is going to continue to organize before it's all said and done. And once it does this, look at what we're going to be working with. This really is a snapshot of what March looks like, of what spring looks like in March. So we do have plenty of snow, we have plenty of wind. Look at Minneapolis in that teal coloring right there. That's a good swath before it's all said and done. A wintry mix, and then further down off towards the south, it's going to be windy with some rain, some thunderstorms, and some of those thunderstorms could be on the strong to severe side. Euromodel picking up on some very heavy snow across the Dakotas, the upper Midwest, more of the same. GFS, Euro, both in agreement that we could see that next Saturday, I should say, into next Tuesday. And then we'll head down off towards the south, and we're looking at the panhandles, Oklahoma, around Texas. We could see some strong and severe thunderstorms, damaging gusty wind, and hail will be the primary threats with that. Then we talk about the rain, because yes, it will be heavy in some spots, and this is not the best because we have been dealing with so much rain across this area, not necessarily needing to break the drought anymore, but we could see some moderate rain coming in on your Euro and more of the same as we look at the GFS as well. That's going to be the scenario. And then here's that big picture of that system continuing to move across the nation, bringing plenty of wind, rain, snow with it, and everything in between. Have a wonderful day, everybody.